Pennsylvania cooking. I'm making a pie today, and whenever you make a pie, you usually have some leftover pastry. So that's leading me to do this part now, and that is make a treat that lots of Pennsylvania Dutch grannies made for their grandkids, and moms did too. When they had leftover pie crust pieces, pastry, you made milk pie. And usually they were made in little pie tins, like the little pies you buy at the store, the leftover tins. They usually make them little individual pies like that. So these milk pies were what was made with the leftover pastry scraps. And they often were more of a treat for the kids, even though they were super simple, nothing special. I think all kids had a great memory of this. Mike grew up with his Grammy making this for him. My family didn't make milk pie actually like this. In my family, they would take the scraps of dough and roll it out into a circle about like this, brush with butter, and put cinnamon sugar on the top and bake it that way. But we're going to try and make his Grammy's milk pies. So what I'm doing is enough for two, and I'm using 2 little ramekins. You want to butter these really good. Preheat your oven to 350, and I'm just making sure the ramekins are buttered well so that our pastry doesn't stick. My pie dough pastry recipe, I have done a video on that already. All that goes into this is the pastry. I'm going to put that in, form that in. I'm going to bake. Now you can bake this without baking the pastry first, but I think it comes out a little nicer if you bake the pastry first. So we're going to do that here first. Just form that in. And you want enough to go over the edges. Get her out. Crimp them down, make them nice. These are almost like a little tart. And we don't want the edges to burn. So I'm just going to make little foil pie protector. Like that. And we'll get the other one done here. Try and get it pressed down in so you get the air bubbles out too. That'll make for more even baking when you do it in the oven. I'm going to put these in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I still got some dough left over, and so I'm going to make what I normally, my family grew up with. I'm just going to put this in here. This is buttered. Just going to brush it with some butter. A sprinkle of sugar. And some cinnamon. Like I said, this is how my dad used to like it. So I'll put these in. I'll put this in when I get done ready to do the next part. So my little pie ramekins are out. I'm going to take that off. You can see the nice crust here, partly done. We're going to make the insides. And a lot of times the Grammys, they would just mix this all together with their finger. So for 2 of the little tarts or milk pies, 1/4 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, tablespoon of flour. Mix this up really good. And these are not thick pies, they're just little tarts. So like that, and then I'm going to take a little sprinkle of cinnamon. And we're going to put them back in the oven for about 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Now the milk pies aren't done yet, but my pastry is. Very simple, but pretty yummy. I'm going to let this cool a little bit, and then, I got to have a little bit with a glass of milk. Milk pies are almost out of the oven, but my little pastry left over is ready, and so I'm just going to break off a piece. And just see what it looks like, all flaky and yummy. The cinnamon and the sugar. So good. I mean, it's just leftover pastry dough, a little butter and some sugar, but man. Totally Moorish. So a little warm for the oven. Because I couldn't have Mike's Grammys deal and not have my Grammys deal. Some milk. So it's been 40 minutes and they're done. And you see how they puff up? Now they're going to deflate, because they're sort of like a souffle in that way. But we're going to give them about 3 to 5 minutes to cool down. And that's why you butter the dish real well. The ramekin. Oops. so that you can just pull them out and let them cool. So our milk pie is out, and I broke it apart here so you can kind of see what it's like. Screw the fork. Such a simple thing, but so good. Now Mike's Grammys, he said, was sweeter. She probably had more sugar in hers. But he also said, as an adult, that's not so bad, not having as much sugar, but it was the bomb as a kid. Like I said, very simple, and you can make this more to your liking. But now you know why they were the perfect little treat. And that hint of cinnamon just sets it off. So there are some leftover pie dough suggestions for you. PA Dutch milk pie, my Grammy's pastry chips, which is basically what we made out of it. Just break it apart like this into big chips. Simple things, but you know, Mike and I both have great memories from when we were kids of our grandmothers doing this for us. They're little things, they use up all the scraps, and they're delicious. So there's your PA Dutch milk pie.